What's up, crypto fam? Welcome back to another episode. If you guys are new here, we do a giveaway at the beginning of every single episode, and today's winner is Keller Mann. Congratulations, Keller. Thanks so much for commenting on the previous video. If you guys want to win, like this video, comment with your wallet address, and don't forget to subscribe. Today's interview is with Crypto Wendy O. I got the chance to meet Wendy in person in Las Vegas. I brought my wife Sarah with me. It was a really fun meetup. There were a lot of really great creators there, like Crypto Beatles and BitBoy. Lots of awesome personalities there. I got to sit down with Crypto Wendy and talk a little bit about storage. Wendy actually got her phone stolen in Vegas. It's a nightmare scenario for someone that has two-factor authentication on their phone. Wendy does a great job of explaining how beginners can get involved with two-factor authentication and the importance from a trader's perspective. So let's dive right into the interview. I am here with Crypto Wendy O. How you doing, Wendy?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Doing great, doing great. So I wanted to just go through what you're using for storage, but first I wanted to kind of talk about what brought you into crypto and what your channel focuses on.
Okay. Well, first, it was a pleasure meeting you guys at WCC. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So it was an awesome time. Thank you for coming to my meetup. That was really fun too. Did you guys try the coffee yet?
Yeah, we actually drank it this morning, and I'm just wired. That's some light roast. That is some really lit coffee.
Awesome. Well, shout out to Hodl Fuel for kind of co-sponsoring the meetup and giving some coffee bags out to everybody. So that was fun. So it'll be a really good Christmas gift for anybody that wants to get their family into crypto or whatnot. But yeah, okay. So about me. So I actually celebrated my year anniversary in crypto. I actually bought cryptocurrency. I bought my first crypto purchase was November 2nd of 2017. So I'm officially in the space for a year. The reason why I got into crypto, I had originally heard about it in, I want to say 2011, 2012. I had a family member that was like, oh, can I borrow your credit card to buy some Bitcoin? I'm like, I don't have a credit card and you're not buying Bitcoin with my credit card and not some weird magic internet money. So I kind of like forgot about it. But fast forwarding to 2017, I wanted kind of like a change in my life. I had really bad postpartum. I just had my daughter. She was like a year old. I was like in a really bad spot to where I didn't want to go back to work. I didn't like my job anymore. I was commuting really far. I remember calling my husband. I was like, because I kept hearing about crypto and Bitcoin on like libertarian radio. And I called my husband. I was like, babe, I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to spend money. I'm going to invest in something. And he's like, okay, do whatever. Because he knew I had bad postpartum and he was just trying to help me feel better. So I did. I remember holding my daughter and she was crying and I just went ahead and I got Coinbase. I signed up and I bought my first crypto. I think I spent like $1,000 or something. And then ever since then, I kind of just became more involved in it and fell down the rabbit hole, got super wrecked in December, January. And yeah, taught myself how to trade and now I don't get wrecked anymore. But that's kind of my story, is how I initially got into it and, started learning and growing and whatnot.
Awesome. I love hearing everybody's story of how they gravitated towards it. And it always seems to be very similar in that people are just curious at first and kind of developing the trust through knowledge, because you kind of learn and you get more comfortable with it as you're learning, not only from other people like on the internet, but you're also just sort of figuring it out as you go, which is kind of the magic of it.
Yeah, there's not a real help guide. It's like you kind of have to go to Medium or to Steemit or to YouTube or even to Twitter and kind of find out, find resources that are valid and that you trust and that makes sense to you. And that's kind of what I did. I was lucky enough. I have a friend that's been in the game for a little bit and I actually call him my mentor, because anytime I have a question or concern, I call him and he's very supportive and very helpful. Somebody I've known in real life for over 10 years. But there's no real, we're still a very young industry. There's no real guidebook that we can kind of pick up and that's set in stone, because things change so fast in our space.
Yeah. It's literally like a day is a month.
Yeah.
at this stage.
Yes, definitely.
So as far as storage goes, I know we wanted to talk about that mainly because I think it's such an important topic with, the next 10, 100 million people coming into the space. I want to make sure that there's some content out there, if not the majority of content, about how to protect and how to actually effectively hodl. So what do you recommend as far as storage?
So because I trade, I do keep some of my things on exchanges, which I know is not safe, and I don't recommend that anybody do that at all. I do that because I need to be able to have access to my trades. I have like probably like 10 different trades going on right now. But one of the things that I do is I trade to accumulate more Bitcoin. And the way I store my Bitcoin safely, and I store it on a ledger. And when I first started using a ledger, it was a little bit confusing and I was a little bit nervous and scared because with anytime you're sending transactions like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, or whatever, if you miss a number or something happens, your stuff is lost. So it was a little bit scary to do that, but I found that the ledger was the easiest tool for me to use. And one of the things, I know there's a lot of people that have different opinions on Ethereum and whatnot, but I personally love the ERC20 tokens because you're able to transfer them onto your ledger if they're ERC20 compatible, and there's no issues. You can store them safely. You have your ledger, you store it in a safe place. Make sure you write down, I believe it's your 24 your seed words or whatnot, but that's what I use to keep all my, my investments safe. There's different programs or websites you can use. They ask you if you want to add on a 2FA, which is really, I think is extremely important because you kind of have control of that. My phone was stolen in Vegas and I had all my 2FA stuff on that, but thank God I backed it up. And when I say back it up, they give you, on each exchange, they give you like a long word, like when you go to scan the barcode for it when you're initializing it. So I thank God I had wrote all that stuff down, because if I didn't, I would have been screwed and I couldn't get into the exchanges. So having the 2FA is extremely important. Writing down the seed word or the code they give you, extremely important. Write that down multiple times, store it in different places in your house, maybe give it to a friend or family member just so it's backed up. Another thing that's important to do is get a device that you keep offline. I have a throwaway device these throwaway devices, you can get an old iPhone or an old smartphone or an old tablet. You keep it offline, and that's where you should never have your 2FA on your cell phone or something that you use with you all the time, but you should always keep it on something that you can store offline and put in a safe or put it with a family, put it somewhere. And you can do the same thing on multiple devices as well, but that's just my advice on that, because I think it's very, very important.
Yeah,
But
no, that's a new one for me, of using like a different device than your current cell phone. That's pretty smart. And I saw your Instagram story about you losing your phone. That's
yeah, it was horrible experience. But at the end of the day, I'm taking it and I'm taking that experience. And I mean, I did buy a new cell phone, so that was cool. I did need to upgrade, but I'm using that experience is that I really needed to get kind of my butt in gear and be more responsible about my security. So not only do I have my 2FA all backed up, but I also have my stuff on a device that is offline. So if somebody tries to hack my exchange or hacked whatever, where I'm keeping any of my stuff, the different exchanges, they're going to have to do a lot of work to do that. I'm sure somebody out there could hack it without that, but at the end of the day, it's going to take a lot of work. And my mind is at ease that God forbid I do lose my phone again or something happens to it, I have it on a device that's never with me.
offline wallets and cold storage and stuff like that is really pretty key, and hot wallets for things that you're transacting with regularly, like your trades and stuff like that. As far as like what you're working on now, I know that you're kind of like a TA expert and you're teaching courses and technical analysis. So what is it that you're working on now, like your day to day?
Okay. So I have a lot of things I am working on now. So we'll start to the beginning. So I do a lot of TA. TA is my passion. I love trading. I love charting. I love helping others. That's the way that I'm able to give back to the community. One of the ways I'm able to give back to the community is I not only post free content on Twitter, but I host trading basics meetups. And I do that. I try to do those once a month because I am in school now. So basically I go to Crypto Space in San Pedro, which is an OTC brick and mortar. You can come in an OTC desk. You can buy in any amount of Bitcoin you want, but they let me host meetups there. So they let me set up and use their computer and use their screen, and I take coin requests and I talk about the different indicators. So that's one of the things I do. And then I do post the stuff on Twitter. Another thing I'm working on is I do networking meetups, like the one you and your wife attended in Las Vegas. Anytime I go to a conference or event, I try to put on a meetup for the community. They're always free. I try to find a local bar or brewery. Of course, I try to find different coin companies that will sponsor me to help with travel costs and, compensate me for my time, whatever. And I put those on so people in the community can come and they can, experience kind of the conference atmosphere for free. I do these out here in Southern California where I am. I do one in Long Beach, or not Long Beach, in LA and in Orange County. I rotate every month. Then I have my YouTube. I do sponsored interviews. I do regular interviews. I talk to just different folks in the space. I make TA videos, all that different types of fun stuff. I do marketing in the space. So when companies contact me and they need help reaching their audience on social media, I help them compose tweets. I help them, figure out how to do that. And I'm probably going to open my own consulting company soon so I can do more of that because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I think that's it.
Nice. And then my last question is, what are you excited about in the space? Like, what projects are you looking forward to?
I'm actually looking forward to I like voting projects that are gonna help put voting on the blockchain. I like supply chain management projects. I like TFD. And guys, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you guys to buy these projects. Just these are things that I like that I'm interested in. On the number one project I'm bullish in are healthcare projects. I worked with a company called MedX Protocol that aims to provide low cost healthcare to people globally. Like, let's say you're in California and you have a heart condition, you can reach a doctor in Russia that's a healthcare specialist, and they aim to kind of bring people together and break borders. So those are projects that I'm bullish on that have real life use cases.
Got it. Very cool. Well, thanks so much for the time.
Well, thank you for having me on. Have a good rest of the day.
That's it for my interview with Crypto Wendy O. Go check her out. I'm going to put the link to her channel below. I had a lot of fun meeting Wendy and a lot of other creators in Las Vegas. The event was sponsored by HODL Fuel, which was this crazy coffee that I'm actually drinking right now. She does a lot of really great technical analysis. I am a complete beginner when it comes to technical analysis. Price has never really been one of my drivers, but I am learning more and more about technical analysis from her channel. That's it for this episode. If you guys like this video, slap a like on it. If you guys are new here, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode of Hack Crypto.